Hello and welcome to the 5Fs podcast today, where we talk about everything that pertains to life and godliness. The goal of our podcast is to encourage you in 5 areas of life, and those 5 areas of life are faith, family, friendships, finances, and fitness. The scripture says this in 2 Peter chapter 1, verse number 3. It says, according as his divine power hath given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness, through the knowledge of him that hath called us to glory and virtue. Again, we're talking about the 5 F's: faith, family, friendship, finances, and fitness. We talk about everything that pertains to life and godliness. And we want to take today, in today's episode, we want to talk about this area of finances and freedom. Finances and freedom. Finances are a huge part of our day-to-day life. We spend money every day. We make money every day. We save money some days. We lose money some days. But finances are a huge part of our day-to-day life. And I do want to take and just be real open and honest with you right now and let you know that I am not perfect in this area of my life. I struggle. I've gone back and forth in this area of my life over and over and over again. I've gone back and forth, and that I've taken, and there's been times where, man, I was all in on this area of my finances where it seemed like everything was going to be great, everything was going to add up just fine. And then one bad moment of my day, one bad moment of my life, I took in, whether it was just blew my whole savings before and just said, you know what, we're going to do this and we're going to get rid of our emergency fund. We're going to take in whatever it is. I've made some terrible choices in my finances. I've done some very stupid things before, carried on to some very high debt before in my life, and just gone on a journey. I've been trying to learn about this thing of finances for years. And again, I'm going to say this right off the bat here. I'm not perfect in it, not even close to perfect in it, but I am striving to work on this area of my life every day. And I want to take and be able to see us as a podcast group here. I want to see us be able to grow in this area of our life and be a little bit stronger. Like I said, I've made some blundering choices in my finances. I have gone back and forth on this thing of debt. I've had times that I had paid off everything except for my house. And there's been times where I was super excited about all that. Then again, made some bad choices. But here's what Dave Ramsey says. He says this right here: you must gain control of your money, or the lack of it will forever control you. I was on the other side of that for a very, very, very long time of my life, where the lack of it controlled me. There were things I wanted to do. There were places I wanted to go. There were things I wanted to give my wife. There were things I wanted to give my children. There were missionaries that I wanted to be able to support. There were churches that I wanted to help. There were pastors that needed some gifts, and I wanted to be able to supply for them. But I had something that was controlling me, and it was the lack of financial control that was controlling me. And again, his quote says this right here. Dave Ramsey says, you must gain control of your money, or the lack of it will forever control you. Financial freedom is what everyone desires, but few people are willing to, and here's a key word when it comes to really any of these 5 F's, but in finances is this thing of discipline. Very few people are willing to discipline themselves to be able to have financial freedom. This is ultimately about a mind shift. It's about a change of mind, how we think about money, how we think about really life and everything. You can apply this to your fitness. You can apply this to your spiritual life. You can apply this to your finances. And that is this right here: disciplining yourself to delay gratification. Disciplining yourself to delay gratification. Spending money to some people is like eating ice cream to others. It is simply a comfort action. Oh, I just want to go to the store and I want to buy something. I want to go stroll through the store. I want to take and, I want to get a new pair of jeans, or I want to get a new shirt, or I want to take, I've had a bad day, so I just want to go get something that's going to make me feel comfortable. I want to spend that money to make me feel comfortable. Spending money that was unplanned is about immediate gratification. Spending money anything that was unplanned is about immediate gratification. Saving money for a desired vacation, a desired investment, is about this word discipline. Discipline is key when it comes to our finances. Discipline is extremely important. Discipline in finances, or any area of life for that matter, is a beautiful picture of one's maturity. It's about one saying, you know what, I've grown up a little bit and I'm able to say no. Whenever we were kids, we would ask mom for something. We'd say, Mom, can I have a popsicle right now? And she would say, no, you just need to wait a little bit. And we'd be like, why? And some of us, including myself, is that way sometimes in life when it comes to finances. And discipline is not many people's favorite topic in life, but discipline is simply saying no today for a better yes in the future. Everybody wants the better yes. Everybody wants what's better in the future, but we've got to take and say this right here. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to say no today so that I can have a better yes tomorrow. I want the better yes. And discipline is actually an art that must be mastered. It is all about maturity. It is all about, I guess discipline is a beautiful way of showing that a person is becoming mature, that they are becoming, they're growing up and they're taking on some personal ownership, some character that is very, very, there's a scripture that uses the word renowned. These were the renowned. This thing of maturity, it's becoming one of the renowned. And not many people like the thing of discipline, which is a beautiful picture of one's maturity. One of the questions that must be answered in our journey of finances is, why would I say no today for a better yes in the future? Why would I say no today? I could have it right now. I could purchase this right now. Maybe you have a credit card and you're like, man, I could just swipe that thing right now and I could have this right now. But is that the best for your financial fitness plan, for your financial goals, for your financial dreams there? What do you want to accomplish there? Is that's what's best for your future? So saying no today, why would I say no today? And I want to give us maybe some reasons for saying no here in just a little bit, but before I do, I want to give you a fitness illustration in this lesson here. The Apostle Paul often gave fitness illustrations, and he would talk about this person there is one that beateth the air, and I run a race, and he often gave that. And I just want to give this this illustration here in a fitness way. Many people, they want a certain look or a certain build in their body, and many people, they start off with a completely great intentions. They're like, man, I want to do this. I want to do it. Maybe it's because I want to be healthy for my children. I want to be healthy for my wife. I want to be healthy for my husband. I want to be healthy for the cause of Christ. Whatever it is there, they have completely good intentions, and usually the problem is not the intentions, but the problem is the discipline or the lack of discipline. They say, I'm starting my fitness journey on Monday or Tuesday or April 1 or now would be May 1, and they do, but because they don't see these massive results, they don't see any immediate gains, they forsake the workout program, they forsake the nutritional plan because they don't see the program. They actually say it takes about 6 to 9 weeks for you to start seeing some real differences in your fitness life there. And really the same is true in our finances. We say we're going to start our budget and get financially fit on Monday. We're going to start this thing in completely good intentions. We're like, you know what? I'm gonna cut up my credit cards. I'm gonna cut up I'm gonna deactivate my ability to just swipe right on the Amazon account real quick and get that immediately buy now thing, whatever it is. I'm going to deactivate those things. And so really we start off with good intentions, but after 2 weeks of putting in the work, just like with the fitness plan, after 2 weeks of putting in the work and not seeing those massive results, we go on this binge purchasing. We're like, I'm just going to go spend now. I'm just going to go spend my money. I'm going to go to Amazon. I'm going to put my credit card back in, or I'm going to get back on that swipe right so that I can buy now immediately, one swipe purchase. And remember this, okay? You've been digging this financial hole maybe for some Okay, for me, for some of you, us, it's 20 years or 30 years or 40 years. And so I don't want you to expect massive results in 2 weeks. You'll notice a change, but it will normally take 6 to 9 weeks before you start to notice the change in your financial state. So I want you to don't get discouraged when you start this financial plan, when you start this journey of finances. I don't want you to get discouraged when you don't see the immediate results in this thing. So maybe this is a little facetious, but let me say it. Maybe you don't realize it, but there are going to be adverse, difficult, unexpected things in your life and my life. And I'm talking about financial things that just pop up, things that come up and they go, man, where'd that come from? The battery goes out in the car, the tires are flat when you wake up in the morning, or you crank the engine, it won't even turn over, it won't do anything. And maybe you remember as a teenager, I was super excited about we were going to have a graduation party, and I was so excited because, man, you get envelopes and you open up those envelopes there and they've got a little bit of cash in there, they've got a check in there, and super excited about all that. And I remember I got $700 for my graduation gift there. I'm pretty sure it was $700. And that very next week, I believe it was, I threw a rod in my truck, and or a head gasket. It was a head gasket in my truck, and I remember I took it to the shop and I was like, how much is this going to cost me? He's like, $700. I'm like, oh man, there goes all of my money that I had been saving for this, just to be able to have fun with it. And there goes all my money. Okay, so just be prepared. Okay, you can be prepared for these unexpected times if you and I will learn to discipline ourselves today. It's a daily discipline. It's every day saying no today for a better yes tomorrow. And I want us all to have the better yes. So where do I start my financial fitness journey? All right. Just like your health, you have to look at where you are. Where are you at? There are many factors that can be weighed into this, and we're going to run through 3 of these factors that can be weighed into this. All right. Number 1 is, what is your income? You've got to take and figure out what is your income. Go ahead, write it down on a piece of paper right now. Press pause. Maybe press pause right now and just go, okay, I'm going to write this down. My monthly income or my annual income is this right here. And so this part isn't too difficult to figure out, but it's extremely important. So you look at every aspect of your life. You see where money's coming from. Put that down on paper. Okay, job number 1, I'm making X amount of dollars. Okay, job number 2, I'm making X amount of dollars per week. I get Social Security maybe. Okay, so this amount's coming in. I've got some interest-bearing accounts that I'm getting some revenue off of. So what am I going to do? I'm going to add all of those things up together. I'm going to find out what my monthly income is or my annual income is, and I'm going to see that where I'm at with my income. That's the first thing that you got to do. Pretty simple step right there. Step number 1. Step number 2 is this right here. What are my monthly payments or expenses? What am I putting out every month? How much am I spending every month? You've got to know these things, all right? This is where it really starts to hit. This is where you really start to go, okay, do I really need to be spending this money on these things? So you make your list. How much per month are you spending on food? How much per month are you spending on cell phones and internet? And how much is your house payment or payments? Get all the numbers, okay? Get your utilities, your tithes, your offerings, your car loans, your food, your gas and car, your Netflix, your Disney Plus, your Hulu, your ESPN, your credit cards, your internet, your cell phones, and so on, okay? Whatever yours are. We've all got different ones. Your boat payment, whatever that is, okay? You take and you figure that out. You get all of the data. And let me just say this real quick. Don't sugarcoat this thing. Don't be like, well, we don't need to include that. We can keep that off to the side. You go, if there's something that you do, okay, for mine, it's my gym membership. I got to make sure I got that in there, okay? My wife likes to go get her nails done. So you know what? I'm going to put that down inside the list. It's every 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. She'll go get her nails done. And you know what? She enjoys doing it. I enjoy going to the gym, so we've got something we both enjoy doing. And so you take and you get the idea of this whole thing. Put all your expenses, okay? The truth can be hard sometimes, but the truth is what sets us free. That's what Jesus said. The truth is what sets us free. So when we find out what our income is, then you take and you figure out what your monthly expenses are. Now you get to see the difference between the two. So you take your monthly income minus your monthly expenses, and you hope that you're not in the red. You hope that you're still in the black. You hope that you still got some money in the bank there. And so now you take and you just did subtract your income from your expenses, and you see the difference. You might come up with a $200 difference. You might come up with a $500 difference. You might come up with a negative $200 difference, all right? And you've got to figure out where you're at. So we're not doing any crazy math here. We're not trying to figure out interest rates and all that stuff, where all that's at. If your number's in the positive, then you're doing good. If your number's in the negative, you have some discipline that you need to start working on. So this isn't rocket scientist math here, but it's work. It's going to take work, and I hope that you're willing to, and I'm willing to do the work. It's a matter of discipline, and discipline is a picture of our maturity. I want to bring some maturity to our life. Your income has to be greater than your outflow. If your number was negative, you got to do some purging in your life. You got to do some things. You got to cut some things out of your life. You got to cut. You might have to cut the Netflix. You might have to cut the ESPN, or you might have to cut the Disney Plus, or you might have to cut the gym membership. Whatever that thing is, you've got to do. You've got to make sure that you've got your income is greater than your outflow there. You've got to make sure of that. So go ahead, and maybe you got to press pause again right now, and you start writing down all of your numbers. You start writing down all of these things. Listen, this is not hard to do in the sense of, okay, we've got all the numbers out there. We know where to go to get all the numbers, but it's hard to do sometimes emotionally, because some reason we get emotionally connected to the things that we're putting money towards. And I think here's why. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Why is it hard for me to cut this ESPN out of my life? Well, it might not be so much that you love basketball. It could be simply because you're putting your money into it. It might not be so much that you, why am I having a hard time cutting this, this Netflix out of my life? It might not be because you love binging on Netflix, but it could be because where your treasure is, there will your heart be also, okay? So why would I say yes today for a better, why would I say no today for a better yes in the future? And one of the purposes is this right here, becoming financially fit. Why would I begin this journey of becoming financially fit? Here it is, okay? Just like becoming physically fit, this is the ability to deal well with adverse circumstances. I want to be able to, and I want you to be able to deal well with adverse circumstances. I want you to, whenever a hardship comes up, I want you to be able to take and say, you know what, this is not going to derail my faith. This is not going to mess up my marriage. This is not going to destroy my children's relationship with me. You know what, when sickness comes, those who are fit and strong have a much better chance of overcoming the illness. So let me say this, those who are financially fit, those who have done the math, those who have done the work, the discipline, here's what they've got. They've got a better chance at not being disturbed in their inside, okay? So you need to have a regular evaluation of your financial fitness. It can help us cope with challenging times, all right? You need to take and examine yourself. Why am I buying this? Why am I doing these things, okay? So here we are today, all right? We just gave 3 little things that we can all do. Just really simple, really simple things. What is your income? What's your monthly payments or expenses? And find out the difference. That's all I want you to do. You've got to grow somehow. You've got to start by doing a financial fitness test. You've got to get financially aware of where you're at. All right, you've got to figure that out. So, hey, listen, I hope that we'll jump back on this in a few weeks ahead of us, and maybe a month or so ahead of us, and we'll see where we're going. But I believe this right here, that God's Word talks about everything that pertains to life and godliness. And if we'll look into the Scriptures, we can come with a financial plan that will set us free, that will give us liberty as we go forward in our life. So, hey, listen, I hope this is a blessing to you. I hope this encourages you. I hope that if it helped you, if it encouraged you, do me the favor, okay? If you're watching on YouTube, give me a thumbs up on there. Give it a thumbs up on there. And I hope that if you're listening on a podcast platform, that you'll take and you'll rate it. You'll give it a good rating, preferably, but I want an honest review on things. But and I'd love to hear from you in whatever way we can. So if you would consider sharing it, reviewing it, rating it, that'd be a huge blessing. Again, this is the 5F's podcast, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to listen as we talked about finances today. 5F's are this: faith, family, friendships, finances, and fitness. And God's Word talks about every single one of those. You have a great day today, and may the Lord bless you.